Hey, hand over your fiancée to me, bro.
That's right. Actually, Kento and I have been intimate since he was my student. Please call an ambulance! A man pushed me out of the way and got hit by a car! It's amazing that you got into that high school, as expected of Kento.
It was early March, and the dining table was filled with a feast. It was because of my younger brother, a third-year middle school student, had passed the entrance exam for his top choice high school. Public high school entrance exams are no big deal if you just study hard for half a year. Well, a man's gotta have guts. Rito, you should learn from him. In this world, sometimes you just need the willpower to push through. That's impossible for my brother. He doesn't have the guts.
Rito failed his first choice national university and ended up at that place that only required the common test after all.
Using the common test just means it was a multiple choice exam, right? Even though he studied steadily and went to a cram school, he still failed his top choice. And so I, Rito Sakuragi, a third-year high school student, was treated by my family as somewhat inferior to my younger brother, just like always.
Kento, you're such an angel. You're definitely going to be handsome when you grow up.
My mother was never interested in me to begin with. Apparently, she didn't really like my face, so she just couldn't bring herself to love me. But she doted on my brother so much that she looked like a completely different person to me. Rito, do you want to play catch with Dad? I actually bought a new ball. Yeah. What was different from now was that my father used to love and cherish me back then. But even that father gradually grew cold toward me as I grew older. In proportion to that, he began to place all his expectations on my brother. Marino, you look pretty happy.
That's because I can finally meet them.
Having grown up in such a family, I had become completely distrustful of people. But now at 24, there was one precious person I could truly open my heart to. Her name was Marino Hayashi. She was my homeroom instructor at the cram school who helped me with my exams during high school. I reunited with her a year ago, having become a cram school instructor myself. I spotted her at a training venue. Miss Hayashi?
Could it be Rito?
You were so good at teaching, and you were such an emotional support during my exams. I got a job here because I wanted to be an instructor like you.
Is that so? Wow, I'm so happy.
We exchanged contact information then, and before long, I fell in love with her. We went on dates, which brings us to the present. In this day and age, 24 might be a bit early to get married, but Marino is already 29. For her sake, I wanted to get engaged early and give her peace of mind. Besides, I also want to marry Marino. She was my biggest ally during my exam season, and she's given me so many fun times since we reunited. She always stays close to my heart, and I'm sure I'll never meet anyone like her again. That's how much I care about her, and yet... Hey, hand over your fiancée to me, bro. Huh? When I went back to my parents' house to introduce her to my family, of all things, my younger brother, who was waiting at the gate, spouted such nonsense. That's a pretty sick joke. No way, I'm dead serious. Right, Marino?
That's right. Actually, Kento and I have been intimate since he was my student.
She wasn't supposed to be his homeroom instructor, but it's true that my brother went to the same cram school as me, the one where she works. And the important thing is, Kento went to that cram school about 4 years ago, and Marino and I reunited. 1 year ago.
Sorry. I actually like your little brother more. I've been cheating on you. Or rather, chronologically speaking, you're the one who's the side piece. You know, Rito, you fell for me so easily just because I acted a little sweet to you. I was really looking forward to today because I wanted to see your despairing face, completely trusting me from the bottom of your heart.
Actually, I didn't think I needed to greet my parents for the marriage, but Marino was the one who objected and said we had to. She said she couldn't possibly skip greeting the parents of her former student. I agreed to that, which is why I came back home today.
I'm the one at fault for breaking off the engagement, so I'll end up having to pay you alimony, but I don't care about that at all. Well, as a thank you for the entertainment, I'll pay you more than the market rate.
So, with that, your marriage greeting is officially over, bro. Huh.
You can keep this souvenir. Well then, I'm off on a date with Kento now.
Saying that, they linked arms and walked away, but even after a while, I couldn't move. My brain was refusing to process what had just happened. Was I trapped in some kind of nightmare?
Hey, what are you doing? Weren't you supposed to bring your fiancé today?
Mom, just now, Kento...
Oh, that's hilarious. Your fiancé has a good eye if she chose Kento. Oh wait, ex-fiancé, right?
While feeling like I was walking on air, I told my mother what had just happened, and she laughed mockingly in amusement. Mom, my fiancé is... that Miss Hayashi, and Kento was preyed upon by her when he was a minor. I thought about saying that, but I stopped myself. Because if I told her that, it was obvious she'd get hysterical and blame me with some nonsensical logic.
Well, when you get that alimony, make sure to give it to the family. I guess you can be useful once in a while.
Saying that, my mother went back inside the house. Not wanting to think about anything, the paper bag in my hand just felt incredibly disgusting. I quietly left the souvenir in front of the entrance and walked away from my parents' house. I don't remember much of what happened after that. My body was probably moving on its own. Before I knew it, I had walked toward the station on my way home. Do I really have a homing instinct, even at a time like this? For someone like me, raised in a house like that, Marina was the only precious person I could trust. The moment I scoffed at my own body for still trying to go home, even after being betrayed by her, a car's horn blared up close, snapping my consciousness back to reality. When I looked, a car was about to crash into the crosswalk despite the red light, and right there was a woman. Now's the time. Looking back on it, my mind returning to reality was only for a split second. I must have been in a daze again right after. As if this situation had been tailor-made for me, my body lunged in without hesitation, and then...
Please call an ambulance! A man pushed me out of the way and got hit by a car!
The next moment, I lost consciousness. The last thing I thought was just one thing. Serves you right. That was all.
He's awake! Nurse, his eyelids just moved.
The next thing I heard was the voice of an unfamiliar woman. Unable to comprehend what was going on, I slowly opened my eyes, and what came into view was a pure white ceiling and the face of a woman who looked like she was about to cry.
Thank goodness, thank goodness!
Where am I?
You're in the hospital. You were brought here in an ambulance after that.
According to the woman, after I was hit and sent flying by the car, I was rushed to the hospital and spent 3 days straight in the ICU. Today was the 4th day since the accident. I had been moved to a general ward, and I woke up because the sedatives had worn off.
Yes, you're speaking clearly. Your consciousness seems fine. Since she already told you, I'll just say it. But you'll need to stay hospitalized for a while, Rito. So you'll need hospitalization supplies, is it okay to contact your family? Given the severity of your injuries, we contacted them once, but it seemed like there were some complicated circumstances.
No, please, don't contact them. I'd like to refuse any visitors as well.
Understood. Your father seemed quite worried, but you want to refuse him too?
My thoughts froze for a moment, but since I didn't want to see him, I quietly nodded.
I see. I'll share that information with the staff then. Then I'll prepare your hospitalization supplies.
As the doctor left, a wave of exhaustion washed over me. A fractured thigh and ribs, a bruised lung, and a blow to the head. Despite such severe injuries, I stubbornly managed to survive.
Once again, thank you so much for what you did. If you hadn't saved me, I don't think I'd be here right now. Thank you. Truly. Thank you so much, and I'm so sorry.
Please, don't worry about it. It's not like I jumped out there to save you anyway.
What do you mean by that?
Right, it definitely wasn't a saver. But it wasn't like I had an active desire to end my own life either. I just thought it was the perfect opportunity. Drowsiness hit me, so I gave in to it and closed my eyes. Sleep came quickly, and my consciousness sank to the bottom.
My name is Minami Kazama. I'll come visit you again tomorrow, Rito.
While feeling disgusted with myself for being so sturdy only at a time like this, I felt a tiny bit of relief that my actions ended up saving someone. Rito, are you okay? When was this again? Having a weak throat, I used to catch colds and end up in bed almost every year when I was younger. It was when my father was still kind, so I must have just started middle school. I made your favorite egg porridge. Do you have an appetite? Yeah, I'll eat the egg porridge. I was dreaming of a past event. Right, I used to love the egg porridge my father made. And after this, I would always beg him. I'd ask him to add a little more salt. Salt? How long do you plan on being so selfish? If you're a man, shut up, be grateful, and eat what's served to you. But the scene that was supposed to follow switched to another one. This was a memory from when I was in high school. Don't think your selfishness will be forgiven just because you look like your mother. Your mother is a woman, but you are a man. Just because it's okay for your mother doesn't mean it's okay for you. My father loves my mother very much. That's why he used to dote on me when I was little, because I look exactly like her. But even when he saw that my mother had no interest in me, he never decided to divorce her, because she's always number one in his heart. It had been a week since I was hospitalized. Before I knew it, I found myself opening up about my past to Minami, who came to visit me every day. Around the time my voice broke and I started getting taller, my father became strict with me too. Probably because the differences between me and my mother became much more apparent.
Rito?
That's why, even when I hear that my father is genuinely worried about me, I can't bring myself to want to see him. I was in the ICU after all. Compared to my mother, he would at least worry about me, and I'm sure it's not a lie. The reason I brought this up was that the doctor had just told me my father had been coming almost every day since the accident. But I feel bad continuing to stay hospitalized and causing trouble, so I'd like to get discharged early. I think I'll ask them if I can be discharged around next week.
Huh? Then why don't you come to my place?
Huh?
I'm boarding at my grandmother's house, and she said she really wants to thank you. She has bad knees, so she hasn't been able to come here. But if you come, I'm sure she would be more than welcoming.
By the way, Minami is a senior in college. She told me she was on her way home from job hunting that day.
In fact, please let us take care of you. We want to repay the favor even just a little.
And so, I pushed my limits and was discharged in 2 weeks. Since they strongly insisted on me coming, I decided to stay at her grandmother's house.
Thank you so much for saving my granddaughter.
The day of the visit, her grandmother had come out to the front of the house, and the moment she saw Minami and me, she walked up to me, grabbed my hands, and bowed deeply over and over again. Please, raise your head. I should be the one thanking you for letting me stay here.
You are a lifesaver, so this is the least we could do. Now then, you must be tired. Please come inside and rest.
After that, they treated me with the utmost hospitality. Both Minami and her grandmother, Setsuko Tanaka, were incredibly kind people, and they treated me so well that I felt almost guilty.
Rito, we'll be returning to Japan soon.
What do you like? We'll buy you anything you want as a souvenir. And apparently, Minami's parents live overseas. They thanked me over a video call, and they seemed like very good-natured people. Even from a short conversation, I could tell they were a close-knit family.
Rito, I'll leave some extra towels for you.
I managed to get discharged early, but my injuries were still pretty severe. After all, I was told it would take 6 months to a year to fully recover. So, taking a bath was a bit of a problem. Why? Because Minami, with 100% pure kindness, tried to help me.
I'll be waiting right here, so call me anytime if you need help.
Thanks. On the first day, she was waiting outside in her swimsuit, and I was so shocked I almost fell over.
With the swimsuit, it doesn't matter how wet I get. Now leave it to me.
No, I'm definitely going in alone, okay? And let's not do the school swimsuit. I thought she was a quiet, refined girl, but it seems she's actually pretty wild. It would definitely help to have assistance, but I originally planned to go back to my own home and do everything by myself anyway. For the sake of my own peace of mind, I politely but firmly declined her offer. Meanwhile, discussions regarding compensation came from the insurance company, and a settlement was reached. I was told the driver wanted to apologize, so I accepted his apology, and we agreed that I would receive 3 million yen in compensation.
Rito, are you really leaving already? That's right. You can do your work from home, can't you? There's no need to rush.
And so, a year passed since then. Having completely healed, I had packed my bags and was standing at the entrance. I really can't impose on you any longer. And although I'm working, I'm just doing part-time jobs right now, so I need to go job hunting. That's right, I ended up quitting my previous job. I probably wouldn't have many chances to see Marino at work, but since it was a workplace I joined because I looked up to her, my mental rejection of it was severe. Minami, Setsuko, thank you so much for everything over this past year. To be honest, a year ago, my heart was at rock bottom, but thanks to the two of you, I feel like I can look forward again. The time we spent peacefully around the dining table, including with your parents. It might be presumptuous of me to say this, but it felt like I had become part of your family. I was so moved by how delicious it was to eat a meal with a family. Playing cards with everyone afterward was also really fun.
What are you saying? You're already like family to us, Rito. If you gather around the same dining table and sleep under the same roof, you're officially family. Come visit anytime. Minami and I will always be waiting for you, Rito.
So a family is actually... It's actually a very kind, warm place, and somewhere you can call your own. A place you want to return to. What a wonderful place this is. The warmth of a family made my nose sting as I fought back tears. And so, I returned to living at my home for the first time in a year. Since I had occasionally come back to clean, I was able to settle in right away. Crap, I wonder if there are any sale items left. In the end, I chose not to work for a company, and instead I decided to go independent while working part-time jobs. The reason was simple. I wanted a job where I didn't have to interact with others as much as possible. I want to eat sashimi. I'll buy some discounted ones, and I want tofu too, along with freshly cooked rice. I was thinking about that as I headed out to the supermarket when it happened. Dad? I spotted my father near a utility pole. My feet unconsciously stopped. Ugh. If he was in a place like this, 9 times out of 10, he came to see me. However, my father just stared at me in silence, saying nothing. Since there was no reason to wait, I was about to walk past him when I heard a small, hoarse voice. Good. Thank goodness, Rito. Huh? Thank goodness you're alive. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I have no idea what you're apologizing for, and honestly, this makes it look like I'm making you cry, so could you stop? Just go home already. Mom and Kento were waiting for you, right? Sorry, but those two aren't waiting for me. I got a divorce a year ago. Huh? A warm breeze blew between us. What my father told me was something I could never have expected. Hey, I told you Rito got hit by a car. Why didn't you come? This was the night of my accident. Apparently my father, who received the call from the hospital, rushed over immediately, but since my mother and brother, whom he had contacted, never showed up. The moment he got home, he threw open the living room door shouting.
What do you mean, why? What would we even do if we went? There's nothing we can do, right?
He's in the ICU. He hit his head, and the worst could happen.
Then there's even less reason to go. Come on, go wash your hands quickly.
Are you being serious right now?
Huh? Of course I am.
Welcome home, Dad. Oh, it's Katsudon.
Mom worked really hard today. I even deep-fried the cutlets from scratch.
Awesome. Come on, Dad. Don't just stand there. Let's eat. There's no need to worry about him. Who knows? Maybe my brother even threw himself in front of the car on purpose. What do you mean? Well, my brother was supposed to come over to introduce his fiancée today, right? But the truth is, that fiancée is actually my friends with benefits. Huh?
The look on his face was terrible. He must have been deeply in despair. But it can't be helped when Kento is his rival. He never stood a chance against him anyway.
Exactly. When I told him the truth right in front of the house, he made the most hilarious face of pure despair. He probably realized the difference in our worth as men, right? It felt absolutely amazing.
Even so, that woman is just a fling for you, isn't she, Kento? A woman that Rita could get would never be your true love anyway.
Obviously. I don't know how she feels, but to me, she's just a way to kill time. I'll bring home a much better girl eventually. An abnormal exchange taking place at a perfectly ordinary dining table. And the fact that they were saying this while I was in the hospital with severe injuries finally made even my father realize how insane they were.
Kento? What are you doing all of a sudden?
What am I doing? That's my line. Did you have relations with that woman knowing she was Rito's girlfriend?
So what if he did? A truly good woman wouldn't be swayed, so it's Rita's fault for picking a woman like that.
A truly good man wouldn't do something as atrocious as stealing another man's woman. He wouldn't play with a woman's feelings either, and he would love the woman he falls for with all his heart, flaws and all. That's why I've loved you too.
Wait, what does that mean?
Even when I saw you show absolutely no interest in Rito, I still loved you. My love wasn't so cheap that it would fade just because of that. But I've finally woken up. Your own son, Rito, is severely injured, yet you show no interest at all, and instead you defend Kento. I was happy thinking Kento had grown into a man, but what you are is just pure trash. Instead of worrying about your severely injured brother, you mock him, as if it was what he wanted. We're getting a divorce. Get out of this house immediately. So, the two aren't in the house anymore. They're living in some apartment somewhere. I was left speechless by my father's story. I never thought this father of mine would ever be the one to ask for a divorce. No matter what happened, my mother was always his number one. He loved her. But even for him, that was completely beyond the pale, and the same went for Kento. I'm so sorry. I just wanted you to grow up to be a strong man, Rito. You caught cold so easily, and unlike Kento, you always stayed so frail. But I'm sure I made you feel terrible. Even on that day, if I had just stayed home instead of answering the call from work. The manliness my father had always obsessed over. At first, I also thought he was strict with me because I wasn't manly, but that's not it. Dad, what you did was just taking out your anger on me. There's nothing unmanly about studying steadily for an exam. And passing using the common test is in no way inferior to passing through the general exam. Begging for a little salt in my porridge when I'm weakened by a cold isn't being overly dependent either. You just used the excuse of teaching me manliness to berate me, because even though I look like Mom, I didn't have the personality you wanted. Gah. Or maybe you just hated that someone who looks so much like Mom was growing into a man. No, that's not it. I really truly cared about you, Rito. Well, whatever the case, I have absolutely no intention of getting along with you. Because I have memories of receiving love from you, you are actually the one I trust the least. I have no idea when you might betray me again. That's... So, you know, just leave me alone from now on. Don't worry, I did throw myself into that accident on purpose, but I won't do anything to throw my life away again. Because right now, I have people who call me family, people who taught me the warmth and kindness of a family. If you really care about me, never show your face to me again. That's my final request to you as your son. I understand. It's a promise. The voice I heard from behind me was somehow filled with resolve. And fighting back the tears that threatened to spill, I finally started walking again, in search of those supermarket sale items. Now then, let me talk a little about what happened after that.
Bring Marino Hayashi out here right now!
When my mother found out that my ex-fiancé was Marino, and that she had preyed upon my brother when he was a minor, she was furious. She stormed into the cram school where Marino worked, and loudly berated her in front of everyone.
You criminal! How dare you do that to my precious son! I'll sue you!
Because of that, her crime spread quickly. The cram school's reputation plummeted instantly, and Marino was fired on the spot.
And to think, it was such a great job where I could lay my hands on young boys.
The truth was, she had preyed on several other male students as well, and her crimes came to light. She was arrested. Furthermore, my mother and other guardians filed victim reports one after another, resulting in a flurry of alimony claims. Combined with the damage compensation claimed by the cram school, the total amount she had to pay reached a staggering 10 million yen.
I can't believe I can't get out for 8 years. In 8 years, I'll be practically 40.
By the way, her father paid off that entire amount in a lump sum. Because of that, she wasn't worried about money, but...
So that's how it is. You will be paying me back every single penny.
Marino lost her mother at a young age. To make sure she didn't feel lonely, her father ended up spoiling her. The reason she wasn't worried about alimony at all, when she broke up with me, was that she firmly believed her father would pay it.
I heard directly from him about the terrible things you did to your ex-fiancée too. I apologized on your behalf, but... To think my daughter is someone who finds pleasure only in preying on minors and betraying her fiancé. I am utterly disappointed. The blame lies entirely with me for raising you this way. Even after you're released, I won't let you out into society. I will keep you confined here for the rest of your life.
No way!
And so, saddled with 10 million yen in debt, Marino was kept on a tight leash by her father after her release, just as he declared, and she continues to work to pay off her debt while living on a bare minimum allowance. As for my brother, after the incident with Marino came to light, my mother became neurotic and intensely controlling. Sick and tired of it, he spotted a woman coming out of a certain station one day. "Miss, do you have some time right now? I fell in love with you at first sight. If you'd like, how about we go get some tea?"
Rito?
Sorry I'm late. Yes, the woman standing there was Minami. We were meeting to have dinner out together today.
No, it's okay. I'm sorry, but I already have a wonderful boyfriend.
That's how it is, thanks to you. Ugh. Thanks to you, I ended up dating a wonderful woman in the end. It seemed like the meeting got across perfectly. His face flushed bright red. My brother stomped loudly into the ticket gates. Minami, thank you for earlier. After we had dinner, the two of us were taking a slow walk through the park at night. No, it's nothing. I just realized once again that if I'm going to get married, I want it to be with you, Minami.
Huh? Does that mean?
Yeah. I want to marry you, Minami, and I want to build a warm and kind family like yours. The reason I chose an older girlfriend before was partly because I thought if she was that much older, the chances of her falling for my brother would be smaller. I was always terrified that she would have a change of heart and choose my brother. But earlier, you chose me without a single shred of hesitation. So, do you want to go ring shopping with me soon? Of course, I know you might feel unsure about someone like me, so you don't have to give me an answer right away.
I want to too. I want to marry you too, Rito. Let's build a wonderful family. A fun and happy family that everyone wants to come home to.
Yeah. Marriage. It's a vow to share lifetime together, and with it comes responsibility. So, how do you take on that responsibility? It probably depends on the time and situation, but I think, at the very least, it includes the responsibility to protect the organization known as the family. That's why I want to protect all the members of my family and the family unit itself.
I'm home! Welcome back.
7 years have passed since then. Today, as always, the Kazama family is full of smiles.
Hello, Brittany here. Is it wrong of me that I wanted the girl to get away with scamming the brother or whatever? Like, I just really wanted him to get his just desserts. Like, I didn't even care. But I loved the father at the end there. That was such a wholesome scene. It made me, like, cry. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!